morning, I hope you are doing well. Today is a Saturday and I thought I would film a what I eat in a day, what I inject in a day, like day in the life of a type 1 diabetic for fat loss at the weekend, so you can kind of see how I manage the lack of structure of weekends and balance my insulin around that and my food around that, so that I can like obviously avoid as many highs and lows as possible. Today was meant to be the day that I do my first run since I injured my knee after I ran my half marathon. So if you saw the vlog where I ran 15k for the first time, 2 weeks later I then ran a half marathon, which I am so proud of myself for, but equally I did not do enough training for it at all. So I did end up injuring my knee and I haven't been able to run on it since, and today I was going to try again because I've rested it now for I think about 2 months. But then yesterday I went on quite a long walk, and by the end of that walk my knee was starting to feel like a little bit sore, and then I've woken up this morning and it's absolutely chucking it down with rain and I really don't want to wash my hair, so I've kind of taken that as a sign from the universe that I shouldn't run today. So I won't, and maybe I'll do it next week instead, but I'm gonna go to the gym this morning instead and do a conditioning style session. I'm hoping I'm not going to be in there too long because I want to get the day started, and it is already a bit later than I'd planned. It's like, I think it's 8:30 by now because I kind of lay in bed for a bit this morning. But yeah, as you've seen, it is a training day and I have 26 units of Levemir on a training day. I did lower my insulin to 24 units 2 or 3 days ago because I started my period and I get more sensitive on my period, but I noticed that yesterday, although I wasn't high, I was in the top end of the range that I like to be in. So I'm gonna ping my insulin back to normal today because I think my extra sensitivity is now wearing off. And then I've had my banana with my 1.5 units of bolus insulin. That tends to be, I tend to have 2 units for a leg day and then 1.5 for an upper body or a conditioning day. I think I might go low towards the end of the session, but obviously I always keep dextrose and stuff on hand. But if I only have 1 unit of insulin, then I always go high before the session. So it's kind of picking and choosing your battles with that one. I'm just going to finish my pre-workout drink and creatine, and then I'm going to get ready and head off into the grim rain on my long walk to the gym. Okay, so I'm back from the gym, and if I'm 100% honest, the beginning bit of my session was really good. Like, I put in my all, but then I kind of exhausted myself with that, and so then the rest of my session wasn't so fab. I have already scanned because I tried to film this bit before and then my camera just crashed. So update on what I've done. I'm 5.4 and I'm having my protein oats as usual. I've shown you those in literally every single other vlog, so I won't bother boring you with taking you through those again. But my post-workout insulin I have between 4.5 and 5.5 units depending on my session. And because I had a conditioning session, although it wasn't very long and the last half wasn't as good, the first half was really intense. And so with any session that has any amount of that high intensity, I tend to have quite a lot higher insulin sensitivity after the session. So I'm going to go on the lower end and have the 4.5 units of insulin, and then sometimes I do need 1 extra unit after my breakfast, especially if I have a coffee later on. I don't tend to have a coffee at the weekend, it's mainly just a weekday thing. So yeah, also because my sensitivity is quite a lot higher after leg day sessions and conditioning or cardio sessions, I have a very small pre-bolus time, so my oats are currently in the microwave. I'm going to inject now and then eat them as soon as they are ready, so it's probably going to be around 5 minutes of a pre-bolus. But yeah, 4.5 units ready to go in. Okay, so I am finally all showered. I've been really slow this morning, and also unfortunately it is cleaning day, so that is the job for the morning. I'm just going to do my scan quickly. I always scan before starting cleaning because cleaning makes me drop a lot, so yeah, all good, 6.8. So there's potential that if I wasn't going to be cleaning, I would need another half a unit as my breakfast continues to digest. But as I'm going to be cleaning, I think it's going to be holding me steady. And yeah, I guess I should stop procrastinating now and just get on with it. Killed my orchid by overwatering it, and I heard this is a really common problem, but I'm managing to bring it back to life. Look, there's like, I don't know if you can even see, there's a new flower coming right there and like loads of buds. So for anyone that doesn't care about orchids, sorry, but if anyone who does care about orchids, what I've done is I just bought some orchid food, and then I read the best technique to water them so they don't get overwatered. I basically put about 500 ml with my orchid food, and I pour it into my orchid, and then I set a timer for 15 minutes, pour all of the water out, let the orchid, like the inside pot, because obviously you've got the inside pot in this pot, so then I pour all of the water out because it's in like a little bath in there. And then I let the orchid in the inside pot drain in the sink for 5 minutes. So I set another timer, and then I just put it back in here. And I do that weekly, and that's how I have rebirthed my orchid. Actually, while on the topic of plants, I'm just going to give you a quick plant tour. So if anyone who's not interested in plants, skip through about 2 minutes. But look, so this is also my dad keeps calling it a cupid plant, but I don't think it's a cupid plant. I don't know what it is, but it's one that basically was like my mum's baby plant, and then when we moved out, my dad separated it into like 3. So he kept one, gave my brother one, and gave me one. When we moved, it wouldn't grow more than 2 or 3 of these, and then they'd die, and then another one would grow and it would keep dying. So it was basically just like 3 leaves. What we did was we just repotted the soil. So we bought some really good quality compost, repotted it all, so put all the roots in this new soil, and look at this, it is flourishing so well. So I have this here. I just want to get a new pot. I'm thinking like a crockery style light pink pot, and then maybe some also other ones along here to mask the horrible skirting board thing, and also we just love plants. And then obviously we have this, our like long vine. Then we have our string of dolphins, which has grown so much since we've had it, but the one thing is we think it's got a pest, because like if you look in there it's all a bit rotten, so we may have to bin it and start again, because yeah, we think he's got a pest. So that's quite sad, but what we might do again is take cuttings from it and try and propagate a new one ourselves, but that's quite hard. And then this one, which we weren't sure about the name in the last vlog or the vlog before, I've named it Luna. So all of the plants in here are named after Harry Potter characters. So we have Luna. I can't remember this one's name, oh my god. I think this one might be Ginny. This one is Hermione, our long lovely thing. This one is Forks, because he kept dying and then being reborn. And then the orchid I don't think we actually have a name for yet, so that's sad. And then also I just bought some tulips for in here. But let's go to the living room, which I think James has cleaned. And so this was our first plant we ever bought together, which is cute, just a little cacti succulent mix. And then we have our like pride and joy as our bird of paradise, so he keeps growing new leaves and getting taller and taller. When we bought him, that leaf was his tallest leaf, and all of these top 4 are new. Sorry if this is so boring. And then we just got some like bushy ones. We're gonna get some stands to put them on, so then we can take away the cardboard. And this one we got the pot for last weekend, so that was exciting. This one again, we want like all of the grey pots we want to replace with the nice pots, but it's just a bit of foliage. But we might move him and then separate out some of the greenery, because then obviously we have our 3 here too. So it's 2 peace lilies and an anthurium in the middle in these cute little pots. The end plan is this one and this one are our cuttings from our big vine. and they're just here for now because this is where they get the best sun, but then we want to put them on top of the fridge and have them like draping down here when they're grown, if they do take. And then in those gaps, instead of more plants, we want to get some like photo frames. Yeah, then we've got our aloe plant here, a bigger peace lily at the back, obviously our snake plant, some cacti, cactuses, succulents, our cuttings, our little baby ones, which I just think are adorable. This one has actually grown so much since we bought him. And then obviously our ivy, this has also grown loads, and it was a bit bald, so it kind of had this one and a couple of streams down here. What we did was we took cuttings from the end and then replanted them in the middle, so hopefully they're all going to grow down and then it'll be like even more luscious. And then a Chinese evergreen, which is really cool. Basically, as the sun goes down or throughout the day, the leaves drop, and then in the morning the leaves rise with the sun, which I just think is amazing. But this is our favourite little plant area. But yeah, I'm really sorry if you are not interested in plants. I'll put timestamps to skip to the end of the plants on the video. So I managed to keep my levels up enough while I was actually cleaning, but I've sat down for like half an hour because we weren't really hungry for lunch. But now I'm hungry for lunch. I got a really sudden hunger, wondered why, and I'm on my way to being low, 4.2. So for my lunch, I'm going to be having some rice cakes with some like mayo and boiled eggs, like egg mayo sandwich, but on rice cakes instead, with some vegetable sticks and some hummus, which is 40 grams of carb, which would be 5 units of insulin. But we're going to go for we're going to go for a walk after lunch, and I am on the lower side, so I'm going to do 3 units of insulin, and I'm going to have it literally right before I eat. Like, I'm going to cook everything insulin, then eat straight away, so that I don't obviously go low while everything is cooking. It's going to take about 15 minutes to make. So yeah, I'm going to go get on with that before I end up going low, and I'll catch up with you shortly.
Want your kisses in the morning light, wanna be next to you every night. No, I shouldn't love you, but I might, 'cause your lips, they taste like cherry wine. You're no good for me, we're so bittersweet, but I still want you, I do. Baby, can't you see what you do to me? I just can't resist you. You got me drunk in love, I can't sleep. I need to sober up from this dream, but I can't deny you.
Well, that walk completely exhausted me. I am really, really tired today. I struggled to even like make it home. Like I'm just so tired. So I'm gonna have a quick snack. It's actually like fairly near dinner time. It's like pretty much 5 p.m. But James is gonna make me a mocha with some sugar-free syrup, and basically just make the ultimate Starbucks white girl drink for me. And I'm just gonna scan. So as you've seen, I did have to have some dextrose on that walk. It wasn't even a long walk. And even with my lower lunchtime insulin, I only ended up having 2.5 units for the whole of lunch. But that walk really brought it down, so I am quite sensitive today after my HIIT style session. And I just scanned and I'm 4.9, so I'm going to have one of those mocha things, which is going to be about 10 grams of carb, because I have oat milk in that as well, as like obviously some hot chocolate powder. And I'm also going to have one of these birthday cake Fibre One brownies. These are absolutely so delicious, and I mentioned them in my low carb snacks video. So the chocolate flavour one is actually quite a lot lower carb than this one. This one's got 11 grams of carb, but it's 6 grams of fibre, so it's net 5 grams. So that would be 15 grams of carb for my total snack, which would be about 2 units, but I think I'm just going to have 1 because I'm on the lower end and I have been dropping quite a lot today. So I'm going to have 1 unit of insulin and have my snacks, and hopefully it brings me back to life. Apologies if the rest of this video I'm a bit low energy. Yeah, I'm just feeling really, really tired today, not quite sure why. I have just been enjoying a nice chill afternoon. I literally haven't moved from this sofa since we got back from the walk because I've just been so tired, but I've just done some reading, which is really nice. I absolutely adore Philippa Gregory books, so if you're looking for a book recommendation and you like kind of historical fiction, 100% recommend her. I was introduced to her by my aunt, and yeah, the books are just written so well. Absolutely love them. But anyway, that's beside the point. I am getting hungry for dinner now. Obviously that 1 unit of insulin worked really well for me earlier. So yeah, as you've seen, just scanned, I'm 6.8. We're having fajitas for dinner, which I'm really excited about. We actually made them a few days ago and we did a double batch, so we don't actually need to cook. We just need to put it all in the wraps. And I'm gonna have one as a wrap and then one just having the mixture with the sauces and stuff, like a fajita bowl style, which I did in my low carb dinners recipe. If you wanna see how we make our fajitas, although obviously fajitas are kind of a staple, they're kind of pretty simple. But yeah, just like a low carb fajita option is over in that video. So yeah, today having one wrap and one bowl style. There's 30 grams of carb in the wrap, but like I always say, I don't absorb all the carbs from white flour. So for example, my bagel thins that I have sometimes for lunch, I only inject for 60% of those carbs, and that always works really well for me. Wraps aren't quite as extreme as bagels. I kind of tend to do about 80% of the carbs, but it's always a bit hit and miss. So it would for 30 grams of carbs, for me it would normally be between 2.5 and 3 units. But I do normally walk after dinner, whereas obviously I'm so tired today I won't be doing a walk. So I'm gonna do 2.5 units, and yeah, not really take anything off of what I would usually do, except for that little half unit margin for the white flour effect, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna do that injection now, and then we'll probably eat in 10 minutes. I don't need too much of a pre-bolus for dinner, so that's good. And I'm really hungry, so I'm excited to dig in. We've decided we're gonna do a little movie night and sleep in here tonight. So we've got our sofa bed set up and we're gonna snuggle under here with some Halo Top ice cream and watch, I think we're gonna watch the Hulk, because I don't think I've actually seen the original Hulk, but I absolutely love all of the like Marvel films. So yeah, it feels weird because it's 8 p.m. and it's this light, so like it's very light for a movie night. It's not so snuggly, but yeah, I'm excited. Sometimes we do sleep in here just to like mix it up a bit, and makes me very happy. And on that note, as I mentioned, we're going to be having some Halo Top ice cream. That's gonna, oh my goodness, that's gonna be the last thing I eat today. So I am just gonna do my scan and see where we're at. Okay, so 8.6, slightly above where I want to be, but only literally by 0.1. I'm out of range. The Halo Top ice cream is 38 carbs for the portion I'm going to be having. We're just going to have half the tub each. So that would be 3.5 units of insulin. So I'm going to do 4.5. I'm going to have a unit of correction, and then at 9 p.m. I'm also going to do my Levemir, and because it's been a training day, that is going to be 16 units of Levemir for today. I've perked up now after I've had some food, so I think really I just needed a bit of a refuel earlier, so that's good. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have the ice cream and do this bolus and my Levemir later, and then that is everything I'm going to be eating and injecting today. So I will end this vlog here. I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!